Hey guys, how's it going? It's Raider here. Just kind of figured I'd give you guys a first taste, first look, sort of into the way that I like to run my T34. Some of these methods might help you in the future, uh, so we're gonna see how we do here. So basically, we're starting off on the map. Uh, you know, F George got a decent amount of tier 9s on the other team, decent amount on our team. And with the heavy, what you really want to try to do is not necessarily go to the 5 or 6 line, because when you normally get out to that range, you got a lot of the medium tanks that work that side, and for heavies, they're not really built to be out in the open or stay in cover, anything like that. They're more of the upline brawler tanks than anything. So what I've decided to do is work over here on this side. And what most people need to try to understand is you shouldn't fear tanks that are in higher tiers, because no matter, even if the tank is 2, 3 tiers higher than you, there's always a way that you can deal with that tank no matter what it is. And that's what I try to tell everyone, is there's always a loophole within how to beat a tank and what to do to beat that tank. So right now we've got the WZ coming in front of me. We've got another low, which is later on in the video you'll get to see for yourself how much of how helpful he was and how much help he actually provided in the game, just by back and forth, me and him taking, I'd take a hit, he'd take a hit, so on and so forth. So coming around the corner, we end up running into a mod 1. First off, WZ does his best to do what he can. At this point, you really have to be careful, because not only did I miss that shot, but I rushed it and I got tracked too. Had to use my repair kit. And if you never really want to do that, and the reason why is because if I had waited for my backup, then my backup could have been able to take a shot. Now here I did pen here, but I also did see a tree knocked down there, which also kind of told me that there is another tank behind him. And if you're looking, we're kind of focusing fire on the T34 Mod 1, because at the time, he's really the only thing that is out there, so why not take the weakest tank out first? Now, the reason why I kind of backed up here was because initially, they kind of have more tanks than we do. The WZ, he kind of decided that he didn't want to be in this fight, so he left. And once I realized that they weren't going to push anymore, then it was time for me to go on my A game a little bit. And so, like I try to do here, is the Yag Tiger on the other team, he's not really set on doing damage, he's more set on trying to save himself. So I know that he's not going to be a real big problem at all in this match. Later on, unfortunately, I do get killed, but it's not because of him. It's because I kind of rushed a shot, and it happens. Like I said, everybody makes mistakes. So here we kind of have the low coming up. He's starting to get maybe a little bit more confident about helping the team out a little bit here. And basically what we're trying to do, and if you look at me, I'm actually making one of the biggest mistakes, and that's not hugging the corner right there. And I actually realized that, and that's why I kind of pushed up around. Now, if you look, what I'm trying to do is, since I can't get a good shot on the Yag Tiger, the KV3 presented himself. So instead of bouncing around or locking onto the Yag Tiger hoping I pen, why not hit a tank that's easier to pen in the background? Here you kind of see me miss shots like Crane does. Hi Crane, love you by the way. And here is basically, unfortunately, what happens here is I kind of make a critical error, and that was I was so focused on trying to kill the IS that the KB3 round took the round for him, and it was a waste of time. Now, if you look at the Yag Tiger, what I actually did was I didn't actually lock onto him. I focused in and I said, okay, where's this guy's weak points? And that's what a lot of us need to do is don't necessarily lock onto him. As you can see, I can't get a good shot, so I'm trying to take my time and trying to make sure I get the good shot in. Because in the end, if you're not taking the proper shots, then you're only causing more pain to the rest of the team. This is where I kind of mess up. Again, like I said, we all make mistakes. I started to think I could take on this Yag Tiger and kept pushing him and pushing him. And I should have realized that when you're going up against higher tiers, it's kind of like a hit and miss thing. You need to get your hit and then back off, because if you don't, these higher tier tanks will really do some damage to you. Now, me and the low here, we're kind of coordinating with each other. You can't really see it in chat, but this is just one of those moments where it comes down to knowing your player and knowing what the other player is going to do, your surroundings per se. And what I decided to do was this, and I don't know if the low realized this yet, but I was extremely damaged, and there was no way I was going to be able to pop out and take more hits. So what I told the low, and I said in a nice manner, I didn't cuss at him, because cussing at people will not help you at all. So it took a minute, and I asked him to take a hit for me. That way I could maybe get a good shot in. And so, unfortunately, the low, he kind of poked out just a little bit too far, and we, however, did not know that there was a T34 there. And this is where I got greedy. I should have backed off and waited for cover. You can see the artillery's telling me to fall back, and I didn't. And that's where it ended for me. So, in a way, never push a tank when you're the only one left, and definitely don't do it on low health. It's not worth the time. Thanks, guys. I hope this was instructional, and I'll try to put more out if everyone likes them.